So, it appears today is going to be the first day that I make some news slop video. Because this is something that I want to talk about, and my videos are actually getting some views, so why not? I've enjoyed just yapping into a microphone so far, so, you know, why don't I keep doing it? I'm gonna do this all the time now, I bet. So, as some of you may have seen, Sony's earnings report came out today. And people on the internet have been blowing up and having crazy arguments about it because Bungie reported $560 million in impairment losses from Bungie. And I know that obviously sounds really bad to just, like, the average person. Because that sounds like Bungie has lost them $560 million. Which I guess is true, depending on how you look at it. What it actually means is that Sony's valuation of Bungie has gone down that much. It had already gone down $200 million previously. So Sony now thinks that Bungie is worth $765 million less than what they paid. Which, to remind you, they paid $3.6 billion for Bungie, so it's still worth quite a lot of money to them. Although this, like, isn't good news, I have seen a lot of people just instantly going to, oh man, Bungie made Destiny so bad, and then they abandoned it for Marathon, and now they're gonna get shut down. That just is not the case. You know, I'm not gonna claim to be like a financial expert or anything. I don't really understand this as much as anyone else, but Bungie being a part of Sony means Bungie has a much bigger parachute. They have an entire company of a parachute. And Sony is doing pretty well. Obviously, it's not like all the money that Sony's making is going to Bungie or anything, but it's at least a good sign that nothing's probably going to happen. There may be some layoffs at some point in the future, which would be pretty bad and would not be ideal at all, but Bungie as a studio isn't going to disappear overnight over this. And also, something that people have been neglecting to acknowledge is that Sony themselves have been backing Marathon and Bungie, and they still have faith in it. The CFO herself said that player reception to Marathon is strong, with the game receiving a Metacritic score of 82 and more than 90% of the player reviews on Steam being positive, and that their engagement metrics such as retention are at a high level, and they're looking to just improve the game in the future. They're sticking with Marathon and Bungie. While it's great that Sony has so much faith in Marathon and they're saying all these good and optimistic things about it, I feel like I kind of have to acknowledge that they haven't said anything about Destiny when it relates to Bungie. You know, I made a pretty large Marathon review video just a couple days ago, and although I was critical, I had a lot of optimistic things to say about the game and its future. And it is really hard for me to apply that same optimism to Destiny, especially right now. The last update for the game, which wasn't even supposed to be this big, huge content drop, was delayed by 4 months in favor of changing it into something a little different. And it comes out next month, and we still don't really know a whole ton about it, and there hasn't been anything posted about it. We at least still have DMG being active with the community and trying to keep people in the loop of what's going on. He said that they are looking to have game-focused articles come out as soon as they're ready. However, we don't know when they're going to be ready, and the update comes out in a month. I think, more than anything, the $765 million in impairment losses doesn't look good for Destiny rather than it does for Marathon, especially with just Sony's attitude towards Bungie as them basically just being the Marathon studio rather than the Destiny and Marathon studio. That's not to say that anything is going to happen immediately. I really hope that Destiny still has a future, even if we don't know what it is right now. I mean, they have to be working on something. I am sure that the developers have been working their asses off trying to get literally anything out and get us literally any news on the game. And while it's too early to say if Destiny is going to get canned or anything right now, especially because we're still expecting another update and news on the future, I think I would really get scared if Bungie ended up getting layoffs after this financial report, I would assume those layoffs would be centered around the Destiny team rather than Marathon, with just, again, how much Sony seems to love Marathon. Regardless of everything I have to say in this video, I'm really hopeful for the future of Bungie as a whole. I hope that we can still see more Destiny, and that vision of having Destiny and Marathon being made by the same studio can still be realized. I've seen some people over the years say that they hope Destiny gets sold to another studio or something like that. I really hope that doesn't happen. I want Destiny to keep being made by Bungie because I think Bungie is able to make a special game like Destiny. It just really wouldn't be the same if, I don't know, there was a Destiny studio that got made by Sony or Microsoft and it wasn't really Bungie anymore. I mean, we see how that turned out with the Halo franchise. Main point though, don't start dooming just quite yet, even though there's plenty of reason to be dooming if you're a Destiny fan. It's not over until it's over. We're still getting something soon, and maybe we're getting things after that. If you're a Marathon fan, you have plenty to look forward to. Do not get scared, do not get discouraged. Sony wants to keep this game going, and that's what's important because Sony owns Bungie. We are also getting Season 2 very soon. We haven't heard a lot about it, but if it were going to be delayed, I'm sure we would have known that by now. They might just be trying to keep it under wraps. I'm sure Season 2 is going to be very good as well. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait for that to come out. That's all I really have to say today. Thank you for watching this far if you did, and bye-bye.